Hi, this is Maria with CRUZBIKE. We just learned of a video that GCN did with CRUZBIKE and gotten lots of feedback on it. And I wanted to do just sort of our take on this GCN ride. So let's get started here. First of all, wanted to let everyone know that we actually did try to go and do some training with Hank and fit him on the bike, and that just didn't work out. We flew all the way to England, and it turned out it wasn't a good time for them. So we are never sure what they're doing. We actually spent a lot of time asking them to put the time in to learn cruise bike, but and Hank does a great job in this video, but he obviously he hasn't got the skills yet that most V20C riders do. So anyway, let's go through and listen to what he has to say.
Some not so good times. Yeah, I still feel bad for that one. Now, I've been a bit of a skeptic when it comes to riding recumbents on the open road. Away from the safe confines of a racetrack. Yes, you're low down and potentially not seen. And then the fact that...
Of course, we always make the point that we're not that low down. We're pretty well seen.
CRUZBIKE have challenged me to take their V20C out on the road to do a proper epic ride. The route I've chosen for this epic is 50 kilometres. It's on the eastern edge of the Recumbent National Park in Wales. The ride is pretty much all about one big climb, and it's commonly known as...
Again, we had no idea they were going to do this. We probably would have given him an S40 if we'd known he was going to do such a epic climb on such a narrow road with poor road surface.
It's no walk in the park. If I survive that, it's a daredevil descent off the top and along the rolling Welsh lanes back to the start. Here we go! We're on the open road! Sensational! Oh, slightly.
Starts out pretty good, but of course he's wobbly because he's not experienced on the bike.
Okay, we're off. The epic ride has started. How far can I take the recumbent? So not used to this kind of like position of riding.
I would make the point that this view of his knees, which people are commenting on, is from the camera on his handlebars, not from his eye level. Also, he's got an extra long chainstay on there, so his feet are a little bit too high.
So strange to be lying on the bike.
Super pretty countryside.
Much more efficient. So tense. All right, first incline. Here we go. Oh, Christ. How do I change down?
We think he did pretty good for the amount of time he has on this bike. He probably has, I don't know, maybe at the most 20 miles up until this ride.
A super light recumbent. It's called the CRUZBIKE V20C, and it's just kind of designed to be as bike-like as possible. Now, CRUZBIKE tell me that it should be as easy to go uphill as any normal bike.
What we've said is that pound for pound, we can climb just as well as any other bike. And of course, cruise bikes are going to be a little bit heavier than a typical road bike.
To be honest, it's eating this up pretty well.
Nice.
I'm keeping pretty stable.
He's having to put a lot of concentration in to stay stable.
Oh, bloody hell, wobbly as hell. You do feel a lot more aerodynamic, a lot easier to take up the speed.
Like to hear that? He is wobbling a lot. Whoop! There he goes. If Hank had experience on this bike, he would be able to start on a hill. We start on hills all the time. A tip for Hank would be, again, after he got more comfortable, it's continue spinning with one leg for a couple of revolutions before you put the other leg up when you're starting on a hill. He actually does really well for the amount of time he has on this bike.
Christ. I've got no grip on the Oh, Christ alive. Once you're going is fine, it's just getting set off.
And of
I
course,
think the key, as I've always learned with recumbent riding, is to look up, relax your upper body, and smile because you forget, and it helps you relax.
here's some nice shots here.
Amazon hates this, but there's nothing they can do
Sorry
to stop
about
it.
that. I
There's a
don't
new
have
electric
the.
lighter out there, and it's got the firepower of a
There we
military
go.
You get a speed wobble, you end up flip-flopping all over the place. Oh Christ, I don't know what we do here. This is the challenge.
And down he goes.
I'm gonna touch the bike. It's
One of the things we love about this video is that it shows what
no gears left.
what would happen if you rode a V20C if you hadn't learned to ride it on a flat
This is
parking lot.
slippery. Oh,
He's
it's
actually
like I'm
doing
doing
really
squats.
well.
Ah,
Steep hill. He's
Come on.
climbing right up there.
oh, the legs and the
A
arms.
nice short drive
That was the
train, a
steepest
nice short
incline
chain, efficient
I've
drive
ever
train.
done on a recumbent.
And of course, there's a lot of gravel on that road. You'll notice again, the
So there's a
V20C is not the
technique
bike for this
For climbing,
ride.
that's literally sit back and pull back and just try and keep a really smooth pedaling stroke.
He's
That
right about
way,
that.
You keep traction. There's no weight on the wheel that's doing all the pedaling. Being on these slippery roads
Yeah.
makes it quite difficult to pull the power down. So you just got to practice on being really smooth.
Yeah, look at that
And that
gravel
does just take
and
time.
those puddles. It's wet, but he's doing great.
It's fair to say this isn't the nicest weather,
No.
but it's just getting used to it, I guess.
He's getting some good training in. Oh my goodness, look at how dirty that bike is.
Put the power down uphill, and you can hear how out of breath I am. And this difficulty is one of the common complaints about recumbents. You can't produce as much power on one compared to a normal bike. But is that true? When GCN went to visit America's Cup team, American Magic, they had done a load of research and found that over time, their riders were able to train themselves to be just as powerful sat down as uphill. It was simple.
I am so grateful that GCN made this point. Yes, you can produce just as much power in the recumbent position once you're adjusted to it.
Simply a matter of spending enough time getting used to it.
Yes.
Myth busted. Although clearly I haven't been putting enough hard yards on the cruise bike.
Yeah. About a couple hundred more miles and he'll have it. He kind of improves during the ride. Until he gets
See
real
how this
tired.
thing descends. If I'm honest, it's definitely harder on a recumbent. But oh my God, descending is something. It is literally like a rocket ship. You're so low, you're so aerodynamic, and you just pick up speed when you don't even want to go any faster. It's pretty nerve-wracking.
Look at that gravel. Watch the road. Ah!
Over the top
That
of the mall
hurt.
was pretty scary.
I think I'd also like to make the point that if he'd been on a traditional bike and had this wreck, I think there might have been a fairly serious injury. But as is typical with recumbents, he went down on his side. He wasn't happy about it. And you can see in the video that the pothole that he hit. And most of us who are used to riding know where to look. I think he was concentrating so hard on this bike that his attention was divided, and he's also very tired.
Coming down, it's a whole different level of scary. Now I can only imagine as soon as this riding this bike becomes second nature, you'll be able to float
Yes,
through.
that's right.
Really enjoy the descents like you're in a bobsleigh.
Yeah.
But right now I'm still on the cautious and nervous side.
Yes.
And I'll give a lot of things a go, even a bungee jump in the Himalayas. But this is about as scary as that was.
Be scary for me, and I've got
It just
100,000 miles
feels
on
like
this.
you're in a freaking go-kart.
I like his
I'm not
enthusiasm.
pedaling, and I am just increasing the speed so much. Jim from CRUZBIKE gave me a few tips. He was like, make sure you're in a big enough gear before you start pedaling again, because otherwise you'll just create a wobble, and I'm definitely using that.
So I'll also say that we had asked them before they did another video to please call us. We would like to get them fitted. We would send people over there to help them. We could send experienced riders. And Hank called us early in the morning one morning. We were just getting up, and I guess it's 5 hours ahead there. And he was in the middle of this ride, and he was at the top of the hill. So we didn't really get much input. They sent us a little video of his fit. We were like, well, your feet are too high, whatever. But it looked better than the last time. So they did call us, but not until after he'd mostly done the ride. I love this shot. He's concentrating. Look at that face. Look at that road surface. Oh my gosh. There it was. Yeah. Ah.
Christ alive.
Yeah.
I can't see nothing.
That I just want to again point out that road surface. I would never take a V20, a V20C on that road surface. It's really, look at that dirt. An S40 would be a better choice for this ride.
I think.
Poor guy. He's tired. He's muddy. He's discouraged. Again, not terribly hurt though.
Better at crashing than I am. That pothole was enormous. I lost myself in it.
Yeah.
Oh, why do I take on these challenges? On we go. Do you know what they say? A crash never held a soldier down.
So again, I'll say the real challenge is in learning to ride the V20C, not riding it untrained down a treacherous, wet descent that's filled with potholes. I still love Hank's attitude, his humor. He's great. He's got just great. But we like to say that riding a cruise bike is a no fall experience, and if you take your time and you learn to ride it, it is a no fall experience. Oh, get away from that dirt. There we go. Now we're getting to some prettier road.
Trust your Michelin
Okay.
tires to let the fear fall away and embrace new limits.
Look how stunning this is! I feel like I'm on a magic carpet.
I love that.
Floating through the Welsh countryside.
That's how I feel too when I ride a cruise bike. Magic carpet floating along.
My thighs are getting quite the workout. The climb is well and truly started. It's just this really narrow bit of road is where you just got to sit on. Otherwise you get no traction. And you end up becoming a cropper. So it takes quite a lot of concentration. But I feel myself loosening up, being more comfortable and more at one with the machine.
Yes. And if anybody who puts a few hundred miles on this bike would understand that even better. Whoa.
That is the strangest feeling. My legs are way above my head.
Yeah.
I've never felt anything like that.
Yeah. He's riding a bike with an extra long chainstay that we'd sent out for another rider who's much taller than he is. So his feet are just way too high. you know, of course, it's much harder to learn to ride a cruise bike with your feet up high and we, you know, at the standard chainstay. If he was riding with standard chainstay, his feet would be significantly lower and he'd have more control of the bike. I know it's frustrating for him.
It's just such a strange sensation.
What
It's
a
like
what a great sport. Oh, and that just watching him get off the cruise bike. Of course, anybody who's ridden a cruise bike for a while does not throw their leg over the back of the bike. They step through it.
it's like you're going up a slide, feet first. It's the only way I can explain it. But you know what happens now. Because I've
He's-
stopped after the walk.
Yeah. You don't have
The
to.
only chance of getting up these climbs is if you're going with a bit of momentum.
Not true. You can start on a steep hill.
Walk a little bit.
I wish they'd cut that part. Nobody wants to be caught pushing their bike. Look at that fog.
Oh no.
Almost to the top.
Up and up.
Again, that angle is not his view. That's where the camera's.
I've made it to the top of Gospel Pass. My first ever ride on a
I love this shot. You know, he's got the cruise bike in the hero position and he's down there next to it. I think that's a beautiful, really appreciate GCN for this gorgeous shot.
recumbent on the open road. And I've
Thank
got to
you.
say, not only is it a hard challenge I wanted to complete, but it's a genuine personal challenge because I didn't think recumbents could get up a climb that steep. Before we head off, that was a 13% climb I've just completed.
Yay, Hank. So yes, recumbents can climb, at least cruise bike can. And I also love this position on the bike. This is how I sit on the bike when I'm not riding it, if I'm just talking to people. So he's from when he started this ride to when he's finished it, he is becoming more at one with the bike.
And you know what it's like. When you get to the top of the climb, you get rewarded with an amazing view. This is an unbelievable view. An absolutely unbelievable one. You can see right over the Brecon beacons, and I really want to show you it. We'll dream about it. Time to head down the mountain and back on the road to complete my epic adventure, my longest ever ride on a recumbent bike.
Squeaky
Right,
brakes.
clipped in. Here we go.
Here we go. Scary, huh? Heading off into the gray mist.
I've got fingers on the brake levers.
I would too.
like fingers on a pistol.
Be safe.
Oh, I am picking up speed. I don't know if this is picking up how fast I'm going, but let me tell you, I am. Oh!
I love that. Oh.
100% the fastest bike I've ridden, or at least it feels it.
I like that. 100% the fastest bike I've ridden, or at least it feels that way.
It's a completely different bike when you've got speed. Majority of the route done. 3/4.
Look at that gravel and dirt on the
Now
road.
On the home straight.
Oh, and over the cattle.
It's had its ups and it's had its downs, as I promised. But nevertheless, I am impressed.
Thank you, Hank.
I didn't think I was going to be able to get over that mountain, let alone down it. This has given me a whole new perspective on cycling. Woo! I feel like this is the F1 car of bikes.
Yes, beautiful. The F1 car of bikes, not meant for climbing on a gravelly
I
road.
made it back to base, 48 kilometers.
Another
yeah,
great
about
shot.
50
Look at that.
kilometers completed. Not a massive ride in distance, but I've got to say, I never expected to take a recumbent out on roads like that. On ascents and descents like that. It absolutely terrified me, but I really am impressed. And I've got to say a massive thank you to CRUZBIKE for lending me
Well,
their
thank
bike and
you,
letting me
Hank.
take it on terrain I don't think they expected me to. I would love to ride this bike across America, you know, on big open roads where I can go really fast and keep that inertia, because this is where they really come into their own, when you're at top speeds of like 50, 60k an hour, when the aerodynamics are really optimized.
Come on, Hank, come to America. We'll give you a bike. You ride it all the way across the country. We'd love it.
What a wild ride.
What a
I'm
ride.
covered in mud. I'm absolutely shattered from tensing up and really concentrating, but I loved every minute of it. A massive thank you to you guys for watching. If you enjoy my recumbent episodes, or you want to see me do something utterly insane, then let me know in the comment section below. And hit that thumbs up button if you want to see me do epic challenges.
So I just have to say thanks to Hank. He's such a good sport, and he makes it look fun. And he said a lot of really nice things about CRUZBIKE. I know he was wobbly. He's just not an experienced rider. So anybody who's seeing this, I want you to just know that, you know, that's how it looks to ride a V20C when you haven't practiced at all. But if you had put the miles in, if he'd put the miles in, he would have been straight as an arrow. Wouldn't have been no faults. Although that road, I wouldn't have taken my V20C on that road. I would have taken S40 with all the potholes and the gravel. Also, the view, just as another reminder, the view of the road is much better than the POV that they showed with the camera on the handlebars, what it looked like he was just looking at his knees. But anyway, we're grateful to GCN and Hank for giving us the exposure. And thanks very much. Bye.